welcome back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show right here in your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.
And remember, our goal is always to guide you to personal and financial wellness.
Well, we thank you for being part of the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show and podcast. That's right. We provide these to you on a regular basis to let you know what's really happening in the real estate and financial world. And we bring on some of the best guests we can. We put them all together on our website at donandgino.com, DONANDGINO, because our goal is to guide you to personal and financial wellness. I'm going to let Gino talk.
I was going to say, here we go again. All right. 2019. I just say here, look pretty. I guess I can do that.
Yeah, good luck on that.
I got a haircut. Come on, man. I started off the year nice. Yeah. A little heavier than I want to be, but anyways, we'll fix that.
99% of our listeners are going to go, duh. We're all there. We're all there.
Got a resolution for that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So, Don, you did mention that donandgino.com is our hub. It has been for a very long time. So through that hub, you can get to our YouTube channel, to our Facebook page, to everything pretty much that we get our hands into. We also do a show that we don't do very many of, but every once in a while we'll do one called Interview with the Giants. Mm-hmm. So if you have a little bit of time to sit down and watch something of somebody that's a giant in their industry, somebody that's done a great job, and you want to hear them share their personal story of success and failure, kind of give you a little insight into nobody became a success overnight. They've all had their struggles, and I'm trying to teach my kids now that they need to fail more.
Well, that's the best part of these interviews and stuff. And you guys are like, one of the guys we interview is Barry Hubby, who's really big in our industry. Actually, he's on Fox and CNN and all that. He's one of the biggest. He got an award for being the best forecaster of the year. And we had him on a show. He's a good friend of ours. Actually, we're bringing him out probably in March.
Yep.
I'll let you know about that. And he basically, we were like, so you just started off top notch, right? And he's like, yeah, right. I started selling speakers out of the back of my car.
Right.
I was let's not talk about whether they were stolen or not. Let's leave that alone.
And I used to see him when he first started speaking too, and because he's a tech guy, I go, you were horrible. Everything was over our head. We didn't know what the hell you were talking about. He goes, I know, right? And then he polished his speaking to where he actually connected with us, and we understood what the hell he's talking about. And now we're all better because of it, because he taught us why interest rates move and all that type of stuff. So we actually understand that.
So speaking of interest rates moving, we kind of teased about that before we left. We've had this stock market shakeup, and the beneficiary of that's actually going to be real estate, because interest rates have come down significantly. Which is kind of what...
I don't know who we're talking to.
Oh, well, then go ahead. Reintroduce, my friend.
Hey, you're right. Because remember, this is a podcast. All right, so we brought in two experts. We have 31-year veteran in the real estate industry, a good friend of ours, good dude, author, trainer, real estate guru, Mr. Elgin Walker with EXP. Thank you for joining us, buddy.
Thank you for the invitation.
And
he does the mechanics.
Yeah.
right.
And we have Robert Mickalson, another guru in our industry, outstanding with EXP, really. 18 years, so you've gone through the ups and downs, right, Robert?
Yes.
So you've seen it.
But apparently not a normal market.
Right, you haven't.
No,
you haven't, right?
unfortunately.
When you came into the market, it was booming.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm loving the shift so far.
But that's the difference, is you guys handle the shifts, and that's why we brought you in, because we've gone through a shift, 2018 headed into 2019, and there's reasons behind it. The media is jumping on it that we're going into the next housing bubble, prices are too high, nobody can afford homes. Affordability has become a challenge in certain markets, especially here in California. But a lot of it had to do with, for example, we were talking about interest rates. That hurt the affordability. We had a little blip in the interest rate market because the feds are scared the heck out of everybody that they're going to raise interest rates forever and that we're going to have inflation. Therefore, rates went up 0.5% literally in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that was hard.
There's not a market that can handle that. We've seen this before. So, because the reason I bring that up is a lot of you are like, well, how do we know how this is going to affect the real estate market? We had this when Trump was elected. We had rates go up 0.5% literally in 2 weeks. How is our market January through March that year after Trump was elected? Nothing. We were dead. They talked about, here we go with housing. It's going to tank. Nothing's going to happen, blah, blah. And spring got hit, and we were fine. Yeah. I think, personally, that's kind of where we're heading again. What do you guys think?
You want to go first? Or?
Yeah, sure. I'm excited about the shift for one because the stronger agents will get stronger, and I see that as a benefit to the consumer in that they're not going to be serviced as often by agents who are kind of just dabbling in the business and not providing the ultimate real estate experience, so to speak. So the consumer is going to benefit by probably being helped by a more experienced agent.
And it's going to be more necessary now.
Right. And
I mean, normal market versus a market where they put a sign up and it's sold.
Right, absolutely, yeah. If a home's sitting on the market longer, it's going to take more effort and more know-how to get it sold. We have that going on with a few of our listings right now where, we're able to put into the motion several marketing measures that I don't believe somebody who's in the business 3 months or maybe just 1 or 2 years is probably going to advance on. So.
Or have the confidence to tell their sellers that's what they need to do.
Right.
A newer agent is just going to be so glad they have the listing.
Right.
But an experienced agent that's and you're a top agent too, so you get more at bats. We talk about that. Why Gino and I feel that we're one of the best in our field is we get way more at bats than most of our competitors. Therefore, you sure do learn a lot, don't you?
Right. So we're going to see more expired listings.
That's you, Gino.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. So we'll. Bless you. We're going to see more expired listings, and more experienced agents will probably be taking those over to help the sellers get those sold.
How much of that is being honest with the seller when you go to a listing appointment and saying, hey, I know you're going to have someone come in here and tell you what you want to hear.
Yes.
But that's not the price you should list your home at. Now, we might end up there, and that's okay. The market determines your price. We don't.
Right.
But if you put that as your marketing price, you're not going to get any eyeballs. You're not going to get anybody coming through the door. And if you don't have anybody looking at your house, you got a problem.
Right.
Well, they say if you overprice your home by just 10 or 15%, you lose like 90% of the eyeballs, the potential people that might want to see your home or buy your home.
That would be hugely overpricing it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think that when we see expired listings, we're going to see more experienced agents just coming in there and getting them sold quicker, and that's going to just create that type of experience for sellers where they're going to keep referring experienced agents as opposed to the new agents that are in the business trying to soak up market share, which they're not.
Yeah, good info. Thank you.
Yeah.
As Robert Mickalson giving us his opinion on where he thinks the market's heading and stuff. Elgin, what are you thinking, buddy?
It's funny. In my opinion, and especially after doing this as long as I've done it, is that I think that people are focused too much on the wrong things as far as market, quote-unquote, going up, market, quote-unquote, going down. And what I mean by that is that no matter what the market is, homes sell. There are people going to be buying. There are going to be people that are going to be selling. Their reasons why they do whatever they do may change. As Robert was stating, though, is, number one is that if you correctly price and market the home, it'll sell. It'll sell in the market, and then the speediness of when it sells or not sells will also be not only determined by the marketing, but be determined about how willing and the seller's motivation in getting it done. Sometimes people will put their home on the market and they say they're motivated, but are they really?
Right.
They're not.
Really, I'm motivated if I get my price.
Right.
Or I'm motivated with that. One of the things that you were mentioning, Gino, that I know Robert, does this as well as, when you go in and you do your best to accurately tell the seller the truth about where they'll be at, is you'll tend to have less experienced agents, and unfortunately maybe agents that are their scruples are a little bit less than, say, some others. Will come in and just say whatever the seller wants them to say.
Sure, I can sell it at that. I'll sell it for that, even though they know that the market doesn't bear it.
Well, and then quite honestly, there are people in our industry that train people to do that.
Yes.
I'm not going to go to that, but I mean, you pull back the curtain, there are people that do that. But I do think now, as something that's evolved more as I've been in business, is people really like you to be authentic. The majority of people really want some authenticity from you, versus just cold scripts, this, that, and the other. They obviously want you to know what you're talking about. But they really want to. I think that the term of people really wanting to know that you care more than they care about what you know is more prevalent now than it was, say, when I first started in the business. I don't think people were as aware then. I think that that's more of an awareness now. So that being said, though, I think that the market is going to be fine. I think that if you correctly price your home And like you said, right now with the rates, going back down, that's going to help more people from the affordability standpoint. But again, I've been doing this so long. Okay, so you've been in business as long as I've been in business. So I can tell you what I bought. Excuse me. When my wife and I, when we bought our first home, we bought the interest rate down. We bought our FHA interest rate down to 12%. We paid 2 points to buy it down. I went through a market when I first got into business in the early 90s. Who remembers the term AITD? When you couldn't get any financing, and you were doing quote-unquote wraparounds, and all this sort of, people still bought, people still sold. They will do that in this market as well, and I think that agents that are experienced, agents that will be authentic and tell their buyers and sellers the truth, will still be able to help as many families that want to be helped.
I love it. And the good news is, like you mentioned, is two things. The rates have been going back down. That's helping with affordability. Plus, there's a number that Gino and I talk about when you go, we had it when it went from threes. Who would have thought we'd have interest rates in the threes in general? That means we're in a catastrophe. It means half of us don't have jobs. So when it went from the threes to fours, it was a stalemate for a lot of people. A lot of buyers just, I don't want to pay in the fours. Oh my gosh. We're like, are you kidding me? It's free money.
Right.
So we had the same stigma a few months ago when it went from 4 to crossing over the fives. The 5 was another mental block for a lot of you buyers out there, even though it's still
not
a
just
great
buyers,
rate.
it's everybody. Buyers, loan officers, real estate agents. It was like 5.25. And he's like, what?
Yeah.
What was that? They just have a hard time selling it. They're thinking there's something wrong with it.
Right.
And it's like, no, that's the rate.
It seems like it
what
takes
it
a
is.
month or two, and it's the new normal.
That's
Yeah,
exactly what it
exactly
is.
what's happening. And now everybody's getting more comfortable with it. We also talked about the inventory situation, the fact that we don't have enough inventory, especially out here. I mean, how many homes do we have available right now?
Maybe around 650 homes.
650.
Yeah,
I remember
approximately.
when our market was strong, what do we have, 2,500? Something like that?
1,400 is a good market.
1,400 would be
Right.
wonderful,
1,400 would be a
right?
nice market, yeah. And you touched on something that's important too, is are they really motivated, right? So there's 3 listings in my neighborhood that I know for sure are not motivated. They listed a house at 720 that was worth 675. Never going to sell, right? And the agent wasn't able to talk them down, right? That's just some fake price they agreed to. So why even list your home? Okay, try it for 30 days, try it for 90 days. It's going to expire for sure. The other one, I happen to know the personal situation in the household. The house will never sell because there's a personal situation going on. It's in the middle of a divorce.
Yeah.
And the person who's in the house, who's taking occupancy, benefits from it not selling.
No.
It will never sell.
You know what they need? They need an agent who's going to tell them the truth.
Absolutely.
And there's just too many of the agents out here, and agents in LA, all over, that just are too afraid or won't tell them the truth.
Yeah.
So what the home is worth, how long it will take to sell, what the home needs to look like, and be prepared for market readiness.
Right. So out of those 650 homes, let's just say that 20% of it's fake inventory.
Yeah.
It's not even real.
Right.
It's not even on the
yeah,
market.
it's just not going to sell.
Well, and that's why having a great real estate professional like you guys helps with that, with either selling or buying. You can recognize whether the house is overpriced based on the market and what you should be looking at, and don't even bother looking at the house. I have 3 others that are priced much better for the money, that type of thing. So that's the beautiful thing. Speaking of being professionals, we got another segment coming up talking about you guys making a little switch to a new platform.
We
I
did.
mean, we've had shift happen in the industry, and you guys made a switch over to EXP Realty, and I want to find out more about that from you guys. But how can they get a hold of you guys? Because some of our listeners are going, I want authentic, real professionals, because we're in a market where actually buyers and sellers negotiate on the true value of the home. How about that?
Wow.
That's something new,
The
huh?
concept.
Absolutely. Well, Elgin Walker, and my direct line is 661-347-6248. And you can pretty much find me on every social platform that's out there. And pretty much all of my stuff is under my name. So the Elgin Walker's Real Estate Cafe. Yeah, I don't have anything cute. Elgin Walker's Real Estate Cafe, Elgin Walker on Twitter, Elgin Walker on Instagram. And a lot of people do know my little nickname of E-Hustle. So you'll find me
E-Hustle.
That's right.
E-Hustle.
That's very
So,
cool.
That's where you can reach me. And if you want to reach Robert, you can reach him at the same stuff for my name. Just joking.
Now you know why they call me Hustle.
He forgot to leave out that if you're probably in a Starbucks, you're probably going to see him. That's another way to get a hold of him.
Right,
Just go to
yeah,
Starbucks.
Just walk into Starbucks.
You know you can get Wi-Fi at your own house.
You know what? That's what they told me. My kids told me that.
Yeah, but they
moved.
take it. They use it up.
He doesn't have any good bandwidth there. Kids are all using it up.
Robert Mickalson, how about you?
I'm business partners with my wife, by the way. We're the Mickalson Group at EXP Realty.
You guys got a great team, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's small, tight. You know, I love them. And so you can find us though at mickalsongroup.com or over at scvhometracker.com if you'd like to do a home search.
SCV Home Tracker, I like that.
Yeah. So we have tons of buyers out there on our site searching for homes every day, and you can too. And call me anytime, 661-505-1051.
All right. Good stuff. All
He
right.
killed me on that wife thing. You know, I forgot. I don't know if she's listening.
You too.
I saw you.
I
wasn't going to throw you under the bus. I'm like, Elgin, I believe you were.
You have nothing to worry about. You've been married for 30 years.
Yeah, and I got a little equity.
Okay.
I got a little equity. But still, it's the ultimate Pilar Walker team. So,
You know, she's the beauty of the team.
beauties,
So.
all of that. Yeah, I know. I hear it every day.
All right, good stuff. So when we come back, why don't we talk a little bit about the advantages that you feel you have by making the move to EXP and how it's helping you with your buyers and sellers, especially moving forward. There's a lot of changes happening in 2019, technology and everything else. You guys are prepared for 2019, so let's talk about that, all right?
Sure.
Sounds good.
All right, guys, we'll be right back.